buzz, babies.
Hey! What's up, babies? Happy new comic book day, and welcome to another glorious episode of Blake's Buzz. I'm excited. I hope everybody had an awesome day. I had a pretty good one. I didn't do a lot. Probably should have done more. That's fine. We're live now. We're here to talk comics and have a good time. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna crack a cold one. It's a Diet Mountain Dew. Calm down. Shout out Mountain Dew if you'd like to sponsor me. I'm here for it. You know, happy to have her. I'm so glad to be streaming with all my friends and new friends that we're making on the EXP. But before we get these shenanigans going, well, first off, we got to say hi to Kenneth, because Kenneth was here early. He wanted to make sure he said hi to everybody tonight. Kenneth, we appreciate you, dude. Really, really do. All right, so before we do, we got to talk about some things. And tonight's show, as always, we got to bring up the best Blake's Buzz friend, Michael Gecko Adams, who's got a new series, Hero, out from Keen Spot. And if you want to keep up with Michael Adams and what he's got going on, and trust me, folks, you want to keep up with what he's got going on, you get over to geckoadams.com, sign up for his mailing list. You won't ever miss anything cool he's working on. And Hero is an amazing superhero comic, great for all ages, young readers and old, any fans of the medium. Your shop should be able to get it. If for some reason they can't, get on down to the Keen Spot shop, grab yourself a copy. There's a link in the show notes. And guess what? The comic book we're going to be talking about tonight, or the graphic novel on Kickstarter, there's a link for that in the show notes too. All the books we talk about tonight, you can click those show notes, read the details, click the link, support indie comics. I make it super easy for you. I'd also like to mention another campaign. Will Allred is coming back to Kickstarter with Crossover Division. The 8th issue is dropping with a smoking hot Tula Lotte cover. My goodness. Hank and Hector are coming up against Sherlock Holmes in this issue, but it won't be your normal literary romp on Baker Street. No, this one's going to be big. And we need you to sign up for the pre-launch page. So get over there. This isn't really an ad. It's a book I'm working on. So, do your boy a favor. We're almost at 100 followers. It'd be great to hit 100. And finally, the Shaolin Nun. We got big female energy coming from Laguna Studios. It's an amazing book full of amazing kung fu action, wonderful martial arts philosophy, an amazing female protagonist, Mei Yin, who is just. There's 6 whole issues you can dive into, folks, and there's great bundle pricings. I just, get on down to the Kickstarter and check it out. We just got a cool pull quote from this guy Doug Wagner. I don't know if you've heard of him. He had a book out today called Narcos. It's one of the hottest books on the shelf. Whatever. He's good. He's a sweetheart. That's what he is. This is what he said. He says, "All the soul of old school kung fu with a modern bite and a whole lot of heart." So, I'm just saying, if the writer of one of the hottest comics told me to, go get a book, I would get it. How do I hide this image? There we go. Hi, everybody. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready to really get started? Are we ready to really get this show going? No, we're not. Because I forgot something. We're going to give away a comic book tonight, folks. We're going to give away a comic. Now I'm going to turn on this banner. And I'm going to collect the hashtags. All right, here we go. Hashtag hot dogs. Because you know why. Drop those in the comments, guys and gals and everybody. Everybody's welcome here. You can win Ben 10 just dropped today, issue 1. You can, this is the EXP exclusive cover, very limited. Win one tonight. Hashtag hot dogs in the comments. This could be yours. I'm excited. I'm gonna leave that ticker running. All right. Now, should we bring out the amazing comic book creator and do the thing? Do what I'm supposed to? I feel like we should. Here we go. We've got an award-winning illustrator who won the 2020 Joe Shuster Gene Day Award for self-publishing. And they're here to talk about a new horror original graphic novel on Kickstarter called The Wormhole Club Tragedy. Let's bring her out. It's Becka! Woo!
Hello.
What is up? Chill out back there. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing so well. It's so wonderful to have you on the show. Comics is the smallest world, right? And I know Dirk from Source Point Press. We used to actually kind of work together from my old job, but
Oh, cool.
I saw him post, and I was like, this art looks familiar. And I pulled it up, and I was like, oh, get ahead. I was like, I backed this like way back in the day, and it was a really dope like graphic novel. And so I'm gonna be that asshole, Becca. I apologize, but we talk about it all the time, and it's like, oh, I didn't know you had a Kickstarter going, and you only have a few days. But there's even, we always joke that it's like a family member or a friend who's like, oh, but it's, even the informed podcasters and Kickstarter moguls. I don't even know what I am. I run a lot of Kickstarter campaigns. I'm not a mogul. But whatever. I missed this, and I'm so glad Dirk put it on my radar, and this came together in typical Blake's Buzz fashion, like a cluster F. It's too early to say the F word. We'll wait a little bit. By the way, Beck, I told you, I forgot to tell you in the green room, you can say whatever you want. Live how you want to live, play how you want to play, dance how you want to dance. I don't know why I always throw the Addams Family lyrics in when I give the speech. It's a new thing I've been doing, and I usually do it in the green room. You all got a taste of that, which is right here. Anyways, I'm glad you're here, Becca. Long story. That was a long-winded interview. You'll find out that I'm a long-winded individual, but I like to talk. That's why I have a microphone in a show.
It's cool. It's cool. No worries. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Very so I love having amazing indie comic writers, and I'm not gonna lie, Becca. We this is another thing we were just talking about. Is I was like, I have a lot of white dudes on the show, and it's just, and I try and switch it up, but I mean, as you know, you're in the industry, and a lot of comics come out from a lot of white dudes, so it's just like,
yeah.
Thank you for assisting my demographic and making Blake's Buzz more diverse. I appreciate you. I don't really care. I love it, but you're here because you have an amazing comic, and that's But a long story short, I like. Please, female creators, like reach out or reply to my emails. I'd love to have you on the show. Like it's just it's so tricky. I ran another show back in the day too, and it was just like we were getting comments like, "Hey, like it's the white guy comic hour," and I'm like, anyway, it's weird. We're trying to make changes,
Like there are more women coming in the industry, but it's a dude dominated. It's a male dominated industry.
I kind of like dude dominated though.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for alliteration.
But yeah, there's a lot of bros in the industry. So
let's spin on that, because I don't get to. I mean, I've heard from creators, right? But it's and I've heard it's getting better. But right now, like. And it's very active in the comic book community on Threads. But there's the DC So White hashtag going around, and there's this and there's this huge I mean like a couple big podcasters with big audience like pushing this campaign hard. And so it's like there's audiences are screaming for diversity, but it seems like sometimes the industry doesn't want to give it. So like let me hit you with the hard question. What do you think about being a creator in a dude dominated industry, and it's hard enough being seen as an indie comic creator, no matter really who you are these days, right? But to get as an award-winning illustrator, like did you have to work harder, or like what do you think about the industry and how could it be better?
I mean, okay, where do I start with this?
We're going to be here. I just gave you an essay. I apologize.
No worries. No worries. There's, when we talked backstage about my name, right? So I use like the one name for coloring and then the other name, the Becca, for my own work. Cause like I felt like I was getting pigeonholed as a color flatter or a colorist for a while, and I'm trying to break out of that. So it's just been, for a while, it's been difficult for me to get my own foot in as an individual cartoonist basically in this industry, and it's really competitive too, so on one hand, I'm happy there's more women coming in. It's been better than when I started for sure. So most of the panels I go to for sketch battles or sketch duels or whatever, it's usually like I'm like one of two women who are usually in that panel, or just recently, actually, back at Fan Expo Vancouver, I think it was Vancouver, but at one of the shows, it was all the panelists were women, but yeah, it was really cool, and it wasn't like the way we were treated, it wasn't like girl power or anything like that. We were all respected as comic book creators. So that's like many steps in the right direction,
Nice.
Where before the first all women panel that I did, and I bombed that one horribly. There was all women, cool, but the theme was girl power. And I'm like, oh, no, like I know you guys mean well, but no, I don't want to name names or what con it happened at or whatever. But like, it's just like any other industry. Like for a doctor, do you call a doctor a female doctor? Do you call any other professional a lawyer like a female lawyer? No, you just call them a lawyer, doctor, whatever, and just you don't use the girl power stuff. These are professional people, and artists we're all professionals, right? Anyway, hopefully whatever I said made sense. But
no, I feel you, and I've never I can totally understand that, right? Where you're like, you get like a female focused, female empowered like panel, but then it's kind of like it has to be labeled like girly or feminine, right? It can't just be like a normative industry conversation. It has to be like,
and sorry, go ahead.
I would be aggravated with that. I mean, like it's just like as a, I don't know, like I'm a big dude, right? And so it's just like everybody's always like, oh, okay, this is a bad segue because I'm doing this new thing where I eat hot dogs a lot.
Yeah.
And so but I'm just, like as bigger people, we often there's a lot of things we get thrown into and labeled. It's not like that though, like because there's it's not like fat people in comics. If I go to a panel, so I totally I kind of get that. Or like I'm diabetic too, so it's just like I don't know. It's just like we get like you get like lumped into stuff with like health issues and all that. But anyway, like I kind of want to do a fat people in comics panel though, but it's just gonna be me because I don't want to offend anybody, and it'll be like a joke.
Yeah. I mean, like here I am with all these amazing talented artists, and I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm an indie comics person who draws monsters. This is back then, it was like, and I'm here, oh, you can draw us like Sailor Moon or a female comic book character or a woman from like X-Men or something, which cool. I like X-Men. But also I'm just like, I draw creatures and stuff, I've since expanded my repertoire since then. Like I still prefer horror. That's where I'm happiest at right now. But, it was just very limited to what we could draw. And again, intentions were well meant, but it was like, we have a ways to go. But this year I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far at conventions. Yeah.
Cool. So it is slowly starting to get more progressive, get better and easier for not just women, diverse create. I mean, like we've seen a lot. There's again the DC So White deal is just and it's I didn't really notice it. I'm not a Wednesday warrior.
Yeah.
I read a lot of older stuff. I do a lot of client work, so I'm doing a lot of Kickstarter work. I don't have time to like read all the new Wednesday comics, but I didn't. It's been like years since like DC had a comic book like led by a black character, and possibly even a black creative team. I'm not 100% on that, but anyways, it's been crazy. And the other crazier part is that it's being ignored. So so at least some issues are being addressed. I don't know. It's so weird. It's like being a nerd is so like warm and comfy and wonderful, and but there's so many of these fandoms and extending beyond the fandom into like the industry. They're very tight. And maybe that's like we're kind of in entertainment. So maybe that's just like the entertainment biz is it's kind of sketchy and weird, but it's so crazy. It's just like, it bums me out that like, we like live in this cool world and there's totally in the nerd world, and there is enough room for like everybody to play in it, and when we make it so much harder for some. Anyway, I didn't mean to get so intense starting off. We just kind of went there. But you did say something, Becca, which is going to segue into like what we're here to talk about. But before we do that, I want to say hi. We got some people. We got Wave Blue World's Tyler Chintana. What's up, bud? Is this Tom? Is that Tommy? That's a Tommy. Mad Prophet Tom. We got people putting hashtags in the chats. Thank you. So many. It is hard to keep track of them, Tommy. And Tommy makes a joke Blake's Buzz is a tight 60-minute podcast. It runs 2.5 hours. That wasn't my fault last week. It probably wasn't my fault. I did say I've been trying. I'm always like, we're gonna do a tight hour. Becka, I swear, even people that like are like, Blake, I gotta leave at like 45 minutes. Like, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but also a little tootage. But like 45 minutes comes around, they're like, oh, I'll hang out for a little longer. And then it's like, I can't like end the show after that. Be like, well, no, I want to go, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, you mentioned that you specialize and you like drawing like the creatures, the cryptids, the creepies and the crawlies.
Yeah.
I love horror. We live and breathe it. You know, I can't ever get enough of it. And so where did your horror origin story happen? Like what scared you so bad, but then like turned you into a fan simultaneously?
A combination of a couple of things. So for one, horror and all things Halloween was banned in my house. So I grew up in a conservative Christian household, and it was like around the tail end of the Satanic Panic era. So that was a very strange timeline. I was like the only kid in my school who was not allowed to celebrate Halloween. My parents would take me out of school that day, and for some reason, and we didn't do trick or treating. We would go to like Red Lobster for dinner, and yeah, that was a tradition for a while, up until like in my teenage years, I got into horror from my friends. Like, I started with like anime, watching the horror anime, and then graduated onto movies. And it's like, this is awesome. And then my parents moved away from the Satanic Panic stuff because, like, you know, we're getting more access to the internet and seeing like, oh, that stuff is full of crap, you know. So there's that. The other side is there's people in my family who work in healthcare. So throughout my life, I've seen like diagrams of the human body, like the innards and all that stuff. And like people come home from work, they have a horrible story of things that the human body can do that you never thought it could do. So that played into mine. And then the other thing is when I was a kid, around 4 years old, and there was a preview of one of the Child's Play movies came on. And as soon as I saw Chucky on the screen, I think he was like strangling a kid or whatever it looked like. That was it. Like, I never played with Barbies again after that. I didn't sleep for a couple years, I think. And to this day, I will not watch a Child's Play movie. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. That scared me. The dolls used to freak me out. As a kid, dolls and clowns. And my grandma was a clown for a short time, which was weird. And one day they dressed me up as a clown, which was also weird. Anyway. But I love this because like when I was really, I can't remember like how old I was, but I was little, and my dad let me watch the first Alien movie.
Ooh.
And like it fucked me up, Becka. It was like, I remember like my mom and dad were fighting because like I kept wanting to sleep in their bed. Yeah. And my mom was like, you let him watch this damn movie. So there was like drama involved, and it like I had these dreams, and then for a lot, and then like I remember like Sightings was on when I was a kid, and so for several years I was just convinced I was going to be abducted by aliens, and that was going to be it for me. Right. So I was just like always scared of aliens, and
oh man,
which is funny because and then I was raised Catholic, and so what are like my favorite horrors? Like I love like religious possession movies, and I love like creepy sci-fi alien stuff, right? And one day if they could combine them, I don't know how. I don't think like Jesus versus the aliens would sell. Maybe I don't know.
mean, funny you should say that because the Wormhole Club Tragedy kind of goes in that direction.
Really? Well, what an amazing segue. Let's talk about. Let's bring up this page real quick.
Yeah.
4 days to go. Coming up here. Let's see. All right. So pitch us this OGN, Becka.
Okay, so there's like two plots going on. So I'll start with the celestial one. So basically, a woman with ESP abilities is mysteriously granted cosmic powers, and she goes rogue with them. So the celestial beings, you know, whatever, you can imagine whatever denomination you want that these beings are from, right? So they're like, hey, you can't do that. And they try to rein her in. She's like, I'll do whatever I want and, you know, get revenge on my enemies. So she goes on a rampage. And then the second plot is a woman outside of the Wormhole nightclub spontaneously combusts, and nobody knows how it happened, why it happened. People who took footage of the events that night notice a mysterious figure pops up in these videos, and this has been a recurring creepypasta-ish figure that's been appearing in videos all over the internet, and it's just been growing over time. And the internet has called her Vorticia Vortex because her head turns into a black hole, or a spinning vortex, basically. And she dismantles, takes apart her victims by spaghettification. And so, yeah, it's a celestial cosmic horror, psychic punk graphic novel with some body horror stuff going on as well. As for those who are familiar with Gehenna, yes, there's still that wholesome body horror content that you've experienced in that book. And the only thing, there's no monsters, but there's really good horrific designs in there.
Yeah, the art is super creepy. I love black and white. Like I've been getting more into manga the last couple years, so that's like when I kind of like learned to appreciate it and not be a heathen. Because like back in the day, like I used to be like, I want the colors. But anyway, it's but especially horror. There's like a grit and a violence to grayscale, right?
Yeah.
And especially like the heavy blacks and the big inks and stuff. There's like a mystique. It almost is. It's in itself. It's kind of like you're controlling the mood like a colorist does with a extremely limited palette. What was the reason to do black and white this go around?
So in my previous comics, like before Gehenna, I tried to make comics in black and white, but I wasn't very good at it. So since then, I had gained more knowledge on how to make better black and white comics. So I just to challenge myself to go in that direction, right? And I also love manga. I'm also a big fan of Junji Ito comics, and awesome. Recently I've gotten into PTSD horror. PTSD radio.
Oh God. Yes. It's so terrifying.
It is.
I have not read volume 3 yet. I read volume 1. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I read volume 1 like in the dark with like one of those neck lights that you like read with.
Yeah.
And so like I had these little lights on in the dark reading it, right? And then just like, just in a very dark room, and then like reading like all the images of like the hair and like the liquid, like the rivers of hair and some. And it was just like all the darkness around me kind of felt like it was moving and flowing, and it kind of tripped me out. Might have been stoned. I'm not gonna lie. But it was just it legit bothered me. Like I don't usually get creeped out reading like that, and it really did. And then a few months went by, and I read volume 2. And it also bothered me, and I still have not. Maybe I'll read volume. Maybe I'll finally break it out in October. But it's just like I'm almost scared of it, Becca. I'm like I want to read it, but I'm like I got to be in the right mood.
I mean, this book has terrifying hair and stuff. Like where Gehenna was more creatures and monsters style kind of body horror. Like The Thing beats like Scooby-Doo Goes to Hell, except no dog, no Mystery Machine, etc. This one goes in the direction of like John Carpenter meets The Ring, or like more like PTSD radio style of horror, so some psychological horror in there, as well as like you'll get some celestial stuff and some space stuff, but it's more solar system based cosmic horror.
Oh wow, this is intense.
Thank you.
I love your art. I loved it in Gehenna, and it's just seeing it like I don't know. This is I see you in it, but it's different. It has. Well, I mean, that was what 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 20.
It was nearly 5 years ago. Yeah. So a lot. When I launched this Kickstarter, like I knew it'd be tougher now. Like it's gotten more competitive, the landscape for sure, and like it's obviously not COVID anymore, right? So back, when everyone was inside, what do we do with the money we can't spend? Oh, hey, let's just spend it online, right? So. Now with launching this one post-COVID, it's like, oh, it's very different now. Okay. So
it's so weird. And social media is weird now too, right? It's everything's just it used we still reminisce like back in the day when you could like if you had a decent Twitter following and you could be like, hey, check out this book, and post a link and people would click on it.
Yeah.
And then like,
Yeah.
and it's just like, that does not happen anymore. Like
Yeah.
on any platform. It's weird.
Mhm.
What are you having luck with? Like pushing this out, like you just like, are you dropping reels? Do you have a good mailing list or Patreon or something? Like what? How are you doing?
Okay, so my mistake with the campaign, I did not have a mailing list. I hate them. I hate newsletters. I'm just like, no, I don't want to do it. After this, I'm like, oh, I guess maybe. But if I do, I won't spam people. Like, it's only if there's an important update or something. I mainly use socials, like so like during COVID, there's still a good community from the live streaming days, and I'm considering going back to live streaming like at least once a week or something, because people like to watch people draw, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm planning to expand next, to incorporate with the social media I have currently. So I have an active following, like on Facebook, and then it's some Instagram has gotten better. Where Gehenna, it was terrible. My Instagram.
Okay.
It was like shockingly disappointing. That was my memory of that. But since then, like they didn't have link stickers back then for stories.
Yeah.
And then after I launched it, then they're like, hey, there's these link stickers. So this campaign, it's worked a little bit better, but it's still like not as good. Unless if you have like an insane following on there, but that'd be the only way you'd get like traction for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand Instagram. I like to cook.
Yeah.
I post pictures of food.
It's
fun. I get a lot, like it's I end up getting engagement, but it's like but then I'll post something, I'll be like, hey, I'm running this campaign, check out the Shaolin Nun, and it's crickets.
That's exactly that. So
I'm like, I'm like, check out this cheeseburger, it gets 120 likes, and it wasn't even the best cheeseburger I've ever made. Like, come on.
Like I'm looking, at the metrics, like on, where the Kickstarter you have the graph and everything, and like it's low still, but like, like back in 2021, it was pathetic, and I was like, I thought it'd be more, because whatever. Yeah, that's fine. So
it should be more because your art fucking rules. Oh,
thank you.
I'm supposed to chill on the F word. I'm sorry. I'm on the EXP now, and they showed they aired this in comic shops. So it's but it's I'm allowed to say it like 3, 4, 5 times.
I did stick up my middle fingers. Oops, sorry.
We'll be forgiven. Okay. This is interesting. I'm starting to see more 3D printed goods on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
This is like a cool skull. This isn't like a little minifig or this is what do you have a 3D printer? Are you like a 3D printer nerd?
I have a couple of friends who have a 3D printer. One of them, Martin Slam Duncan, who does the Sketchelmania live stream shows. He's offered to print some of these, or a couple of these. The sculpt was made by Amanda Daly, who's a talented artist, and she's made some 3D sculpts for other projects before. But she did her first show actually last weekend as an artist, and she had her artwork, and she drew a really awesome Unicron, like Transformers artwork, on the live stream we had last Wednesday, and it went like at a really good price for the auction. So cool. Watch for Amanda Daly. Like, she's an amazing talent, up and coming talent.
I'm pretty sure my buddy Chris with Fueled by Weird had her, or he interviewed her or something, and then she gave him some 3D printed things to give away, I think.
Okay.
I know someone gave him 3D printed, but that name sounds really familiar.
Okay. Amanda Daly, no relation to Sean Daly. So she's the one who's made the Vorticia Vortex sculpt. Unfortunately, I don't think that add-on is available for the States because tariff, tariff situation. But most things on the campaign are
hold on,
tariff free.
Time out. Becka, I was under the impression that tariffs were good for Americans. We're not going there. That was a joke.
No. I mean, I didn't mean to go there for politics or whatever. I just an FYI with the shipping stuff, but most things fall under the duty-free, tariff-free category.
I've seen a couple Canadian creators mention, like, posts recently, like on Facebook, like people are considering not shipping to the States anymore just because it's not worth it. Yeah. I've ran stateside campaigns for creators that are having. It's just you just have to charge so much for it now, and now there's like, printing's more expensive, and so like mean, you start doing like hardcovers and cool stuff on Kickstarter, and it starts adding up, and then if you do international shipping, you really gotta it's almost painful what you got to charge people. And so there's a lot of discussion on whether or not to continue with international shipping, but if I'm seeing Source Point here, and I know Dirk shared this. The whole reason we bumped into the whole reason this is happening is because of Dirk Manning. Just everybody think Dirk Manning, who's in the chat, by the way.
Oh, hey Dirk. Hey, Dirk. Hi, boss.
But so will this be dropping from Source Point later, or?
Yes, it will. So I feel like I need to. Yes, it'll be dropped with Source Point. Basically, I don't know. My mind's going all over the place right now, but yes, it is a Source Point Press book. So working out the timeline of when I would like to have the books here, but in Canada, like before convention season ramps up again for the summer. But that's another conversation to have with Dirk. Hi. So that's exciting. So basically,
Dirk, you can hop in the chat. We can do this live. We can get an inside look at the announcement.
So basically, there's a worldwide distribution deal. That's very exciting. So the Wormhole Club Tragedy will be available in comic book shops all over the place, all over the world. So that's.
Well, that doesn't sound like much of a tragedy at all.
No, definitely not.
That's so cool. I'm so happy for you. And then did I see when I was Googling some stuff about you before the show, and did you re-release Gehenna with like or some, did it get like a re-release on Kickstarter or something?
Oh, that was the one that you got. That was the second edition.
That was I got the re-release. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was after I won the Schuster Award, and I was like, because like I had very few copies left when that happened. So I'm like, okay, I need more books, and make a big deal out of, the win, right? Like, so
I used to drink back then, so apologies.
No worries.
I backed a lot of Kickstarter campaigns that like I didn't remember.
Thank you for your support, by the way.
No, it was I remember, maybe that might have been why. Maybe it was the award. But also for a while I was like, I before I started freelancing and working in comics, I used to support a lot more indie comics because when I had like a regular job. But I remember like twice a month, something like Kickstarter would hit me usually, and it was like I remember it was like a car payment sometimes, and I was like, I gotta calm down. But I'm a super backer. You can't take that away from me.
Yay.
Let's see. I agree. What I've seen, it looks phenomenal. The art and I already know you got your storytelling is great. Like, so I feel like this is like, I love like the cosmic and weird. Is your horror always do you always like to kind of take it outside of the planet? Like, like kind of like take it far away from us?
Yeah. It always like sci-fi tends to creep in with my horror, but I love the genre. I love looking at space things and seeing like what's out there. And, it's been a fascination of mine since I was a kid, but it's gotten more that way as an adult. And I love like looking up things like aliens and stuff. Like it's, not, just for fun, I even got a telescope in the house, like I like to use. So that seems to be like an ongoing aspect of my work, but I'm like, since it's happening, let's just roll with it, Oh
yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
What were thoughts on I know like you're in Canada, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So I know things. I mean, you guys, everybody has their own problems, right? But it's your weirdos in the basement are having a grand old time these days.
Oh yeah.
But I don't remember where I was going to go with that. Whatever. How has that something to do with your book somehow? But anyway, what are your thoughts on Event Horizon? There's a real question.
Yes. I like Event Horizon. I actually did a commission for somebody for an Event Horizon sketch cover for the comic book that came out last year. That was fun. I wish there was another cut available that I don't know, I think it got destroyed or something, but it had like even gorier stuff in it that they had to cut out in the movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, look it up. There's another edition. I don't know if it's around anymore, but yeah, they cut out a lot of material to keep.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah, and some of the images are like really gnarly.
So do you like the movie? Are you a fan of the movie? Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Sorry, I wasn't clear about that. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Some people call it like they're like, oh, it's the best B movie, and I'm like, it's more than a B movie, like to me. But that was like the first time that like religious horror and sci-fi horror like combined for me, and it's I would almost argue I don't know if it's been done as well since. I mean, it's not like I've seen every horror movie ever, but anyways. But it was very, very important to me. But I mean, a lot of people dog on it. They're like, it's a joke, it's funny, and it's like,
no,
it freaked me out. Like,
it's me. Like, if anything, with the movie, like it's a misunderstood gem. Like for watching the movie, I first time seeing it, I'm like, it feels like there was something missing, and then finding out the information about the stuff that was cut out, that I'm like, that's what's missing. But it's not a bad movie at all. Really, like
yeah, it holds up. I picked up the 4K anniversary edition and watched it like a few months ago, and it's like still pretty. It's still and it's like it's funny, like some of the stuff that uses like the practical effects now, like even when you watch it in like 4K and you can like really see the errors and stuff, and but then like these new like however many $1 million like and I love big superhero movies, I love big Marvel movies and stuff, but it's just like I think our TVs and displays are too nice. I think we've like ruined ourselves by making like media technology too good, because it's you can't like hide anything. It's akin to doing a graphic novel in black and white.
Right.
It's you can't hide anything. Like you have to know how to draw. You can't let a colorist can't touch you up. You got it's there and it's raw and it's in the open and everybody can see it. And I just I love these, like I always want like a new monitor or a new display, but then you get it and you like watch a movie on it and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I don't like watching stuff in 4K all the time, or like the clearest thing, because as you say, like some of the tricks they use in the movies, like especially older ones, you can see like some fish wire or something in there. I'm like, I don't want to see that. Why wouldn't they like digitally edit it out before they released it or whatever? But but yeah, Event Horizon, that was cool. And I think it's cool that it's begun to have its own cult following, and enough so that like comic book was released last year.
Yeah, and now it got a new mini series. They seem to keep running with that. I heard I swear when HBO Go or whatever it was called when it launched, I swear they were in their little like press release thing, or their like back when they used to do like E3 stuff all the time, and you could like watch the streaming conferences at home. Like I remember like watching it, and maybe I made this up, but like I swear they mentioned like an Event Horizon series, and that was like one of the things like HBO was gonna do, and I was running around freaking out about it, and then we ended up getting a comic series. So now I'm actually thinking maybe I just got my news confused. And maybe I just made this up, but that's fine. It's my show, Becca, so I can provide false information as long as I apologize for it afterwards.
You can always correct the information,
But Dirk says the hell scene. Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Also, like all the footage from the previous crew, like I feel like there was a lot of stuff, like because we only got like snippets of that, like in like fractions of, like clipped. Just milliseconds sometimes, and like frazzled like VHS static and stuff. So I mean, I bet there's a lot of footage of just that, like the dude holding his eyeballs, being like talking in Latin.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But no, if you look up the stills like on Google Images for I think you can find some of the footage that was cut. Like it's really like some good body horror stuff in there, and like artistically done too. So yeah.
I love good body horror. And that's one thing I feel like that's one thing saving us from like the overly digitized and overly produced like big horror movies and stuff is body horror, because you can't digitize it. It has to be like goopy and runny and gross. You can't like we can't really replicate that with CGI yet, which I'm happy. So just it seems like, you know, they're always so messy and weird. How do you bring that into art? Because you're pretty good at that. You're pretty good about making things like you can do like messy, gross, weird, and it's like, but you know, the page is dry, right? It's a dry page, but sometimes it looks like bloody and damp and gross, and you're like scared to touch it. Like, I mean, how do you think of like texture and stuff when you draw?
With myself as an artist, I think of myself as a messy artist. I love splattery effects and stuff like that. And I use a lot of movies as visual references as well, and try to recreate the effects on the page. Sometimes it takes a little revamping to get the desired effect, but then afterward, as soon as like I stop using the 4-letter words in my head, then it's like, okay, great, I got what I wanted, and then I'm happy with it. Then it's a complete page. And I also look up lots of image references of like actual, you know, the human body and in various um, parts of it, either in decay or in what's the word I'm looking for, in some form of damage. Somehow, like there's like one scene in there I had to look up like how do I say it? Just like a dislocated shoulder or a limb or something. To like, what does that actually look like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then like what would it look like if a certain body part was cut in a way, you know, how would the
Is
blood
that
look?
stuff easy to find, or do you have to like Google it? Because
Oh yeah, I
like
Google it.
sometimes I look for stuff and I Google it, and then I'm
Mhm.
like, you have to kind of get clever in your phrasing for it to like pick
Yeah,
up something you need. Like,
yeah,
is it pretty easy to be like sideways arm, or you know, like
yeah.
or like a specific cut? You can find that pretty easy.
Yeah, yeah, just know what you're looking for, and I always take out, like, minus AI, minus prompts just in
Mm.
case. And the other 2, like, my Google image search must be, like, really interesting. So, it's anything from, like, looking up a burnt up corpse, for example, like, and that's the opening to the Wormhole Club Tragedy, you know, with the spontaneous combustion, you know, what, you know, a charred up body would look like, you know, realistically. And then I could use an image reference from like Junji Ito, but I don't want to copy his style, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's homage and then there's like, no,
Yeah.
I want to do my own version of this. So just seeing it, you know, from a photograph and like, you know, do my own thing with it. Um, and then what else did I have to look up? Bloated dead bodies. That was another interesting one. And I'm like, ugh. Like it's gross at first, and then you're like, I making the art. I'm like, okay, well, that's not, you know, bloated enough, and the nail has to look like this, you know. And it's like, yeah, it's in black and white, but that part of the blood would be very coagulated, and you know, all the technical details. You forget about. It's not being desensitized, but it's just like you get into the groove of it pretty quickly.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's I like that. I've always wondered because I mean you do look up a lot of stuff
Mhm,
for research. You know, you can't
mhm.
you know you can do poses and stuff with action figures and like set that up and see how the light hits it, and you know, but you can't Ian saying lacerations, incisions, abrasions, and puncture. You know, you need to
Yep,
like
yep,
you need to kind of see that. You said something
yep.
interesting with like referencing like Junji Ito, and I'm just thinking of like, you know, referencing any kind of artist or people you're fond of or that
Mhm,
inspire you.
mhm,
How do you draw that line of like letting something inspire you but not
mhm.
mimicking it? Like you said, you're like, I could draw it like he does, or I could draw it like Becca does,
Yeah.
right? I feel like a lot of artists, even great ones, may
Mm,
not do that, right? And
mm.
sometimes it works, you know, like, I mean, I'm not going to tell someone how to draw, but
Yeah.
not, you know, a lot of times artistry is mimicked. Everybody wants to draw like Dan Mora right now because Dan Mora's getting all the gigs and he's he's
Mhm.
he's big time, you know.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot more very clean, you know, art popping up like
Mm.
akin to what he's doing. Anyways, like,
Yeah.
how do you how do you talk yourself down from like going that route and trying something different, you know, and because oftentimes it's going to be more rewarding, but it's going to be more work, and especially with an original graphic novel, you
Yeah.
know, these pages take time, there's a lot of pages, stuff like so.
Mhm.
Like, how do you convince yourself to work harder when the project needs it, I guess.
Yeah, so I have this crazy obsession of like I just want to do my own thing, really. And when I was beginning to dip my toes into the comics industry, and the names I would hear a lot would be like Alan Moore and the writer, or like any other artist who worked with him. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I don't want to draw like that. That's not me. I want to do me, but then it's okay to do a homage piece, right? So in the campaign, actually, the image is right there. So there's the two figures floating in space with a planet behind them in the Kickstarter campaign, and one has the arms like hanging like this. So that came from a Salvador Dali painting, that basic pose, but it was a male, right? So I'm just like, yeah, I'll do a female body in there and just make it like, there's no skin or anything. It's being reconstructed, and just, and the image was also on a cross, but I'm just like, no, this person's floating. Let's just have it, it just without the cross on, behind the figure. It's looks like that she's floating in space anyway. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So
it's so like beautiful. Like it really is beautiful, but then you look at it, like it gets like a little scarier, like the longer you look at it. Just there's at first it does kind of look like it's like this kind of divine image, right? And there's like these like dangling nerve endings are like stressing me out. Because you could like blow on those and that would hurt really bad. Like just a little breeze would be. Anyways, I love. It's a great haunting image.
Thank you. And another note too about the book, it is done. So for anyone who wants to back the book, like all we're doing right now, we're just going through the final edits, and I just need to double check the printing templates for the book. And then like once the campaign is funded and stuff, then I would hope that it goes straight to production, like as soon as possible. But yeah, like the artwork's done, lettering's done. It's just the final little teeny tiny details to make it just 100% like ready to go for print.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to do a Kickstarter.
Yes.
I know it's harder for some indie people. I know because art is expensive. Not everybody can draw it themselves, but it's even, Becka, even with you doing a lot of this on your own, you're still paying money for stuff, right? There's still like comics are just always expensive, but it seems to be more of a standard of like, you need to have a significant portion done before bringing it to a crowdfunding platform. And I know, like I said, I know that's harder for some creators, but I also know I think we've gotten less like, oh, we're going to take the money and run campaigns.
Yeah.
It's kind of harder. Like there's more expectation. It still happens, but it's harder for that to happen. So in a way that's good, but I think that's a way to set your campaign up for success is to have especially the art, the little, the layouts and the production layouts, not your page layouts. But like that kind of stuff, and like the back matter and things you fit in, like that doesn't take a super long time, as if everything else is done. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Folks, you should back this book. It's very cool. Her previous graphic novel, Gehenna Death Valley, was amazing. Can people? I know they can get that digitally. Can they still get that through this campaign?
It is an add-on with this campaign as well. There's a 15% off discount as well with the Gehenna Death Valley. So
two scary books for a cheaper price, folks.
Yeah.
And you can find the link in the description. And Dirk was also nice enough to post in the comics.
Thank you, Dirk.
Dirk's such a sweetie. By the way, JD, what's up, dude? He says JD had a couple hot dogs today with jalapenos. You're a bad influence. I do not. I know I eat hot dogs on the air now, so I'm not like helping the cause, but I still don't really know how this hot dog thing happened. He says while wearing a hot dog hat. All this happened, Becka, at like hot dog stuff. Just my logo's a bee. This is like a Blake's Buzz, is a busy bee, buzz. Blah, blah, blah. And then like I still don't know how the hot dog stuff started. I like hot dogs.
Let things organically take its place,
So yeah, but then we started eating them on the air, and then I started. There's no we, there's just me. Anyways, but yeah, I like hot dogs. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's comics. I've done a couple reels when I was at the Planet Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
So my old job, I used to work for Comics and Magazine,
Oh yeah.
and some people, and I was going to go to C2E2, and I bought this hat because it was going to be like find the guy in the hot dog hat and get
Yeah.
an issue of Comics and Magazine, get an issue. And so I ended up getting this hat, and I took it to Planet Comic Con, and I was like, I posted on socials, I was like, finally I got the hot dog hat, and like a couple people like came up to me and they were like, I saw the hot dog ad from over there. And I was like, no way. So I started doing this deal. Like I started being like, hot dog marketing works. And now people are telling me I need to like start a business. I'm like, I don't know if I want to start a hot dog.
Yeah, visual markers help. Like for a bit last year, and before that, like I started experimenting face painting myself, like in corpse paint. I only stopped doing it. I stopped doing it recently because I started to get an allergic reaction to the paint, unfortunately. But it was a way of people like, hey, you. I'm like, yeah, hi. So it's a way to stand out, like, you're marketing yourself, and people remember, oh yeah, you at the panel, and they go to your table and
nice.
Check out your stuff.
I'm on. I guess. Thank you for telling me I'm on the right track, and I'm not just a clown singing and dancing on the internet. I mean,
you're on the right track.
I am. No, that's awesome. Yeah, everybody. I like if John Westhoff, he's in the chat. You should check it out, John.
Oh, I've seen you around on my feed, Mr. John.
John with Part-Time Comics. He's good people.
Like he
gives me shit because I hit him up every now and then. He's got a campaign, and like if I had like a guest cancel or something, I'll be like, hey, do anything tonight? And he's like, you want me to be on your show last minute? And I'm like, yeah.
Was it the Drumstick of Doom's campaign?
Yeah.
Or drumstick. I probably said that totally wrong.
No, yeah, drumsticks of Doom.
Okay, there you go. Congrats, dude, if you're still there watching.
Yeah, they just funded that for the new issues. He's in the direct market now.
Oh, nice.
Which you're about to be in the direct market too. Like
Yep. As long as we're hopefully we get funded. So
yeah,
this has become a nail biter campaign for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something, and I've told this to clients, and clients sometimes get mad at me because they're like, they don't get mad at me, but it's just they've been like, I know how Kickstarter works, and I'm like, okay, but everybody is struggling right now. I even heard, I haven't talked to Charlie specifically, but I even heard like Charlie Stickney's campaigns were moving, like the White Ash campaigns were going a little bit slower than he's still doing great, right? But it's just like everybody's kind of feeling it. Everybody's funding a little slower. The dead zones are even more dead. It's just it's very intense. I know, and it's super stressful, but the last few days, like you kind of start getting the jump before the 48 hours, it seems sometimes. But anyways, I'm so hopefully in the next in the next few 12 24 hours you start getting it. But you should get a big pop. Or you got okay. I'm sorry, I can't read. I thought you had 53 hours left. You have 4 days left.
No. There's
you still got a few days.
Yeah. So I'm still like optimistic that we'll make it, and again, like I knew it would be difficult when I set this up. I just didn't think it'd be this difficult, right? But I mean, with the time period we're in right now, it is what it is. But thank you for everyone who's backed this campaign so far. Greatly appreciate it, like hardcore. I also have to give a shout out to a couple of artists who kindly contributed to the campaign, Jonathan Kuchuba and James Edward Clark. So Jonathan Kuchuba from Grotesque Comics, check them out. He's got a really cool Aeon Flux styled comic that they're about to post on their website. And James Edward Clark, you're aware of the Florida hippopotamus cocaine massacre, right? Yeah. So I did the color flash for that one. But anyway, he's like, hey, do you want the pin up? Like, and I'm like, really? For the Kickstarter? He's like, yeah. So sure, thanks, dude. Thank you. So on the campaign, there's a new comic art collector 5 that features the original Vorticia Vortex pinup drawn traditionally by James Edward Clark. So in the top of the campaign, there's a closer look of the painting. Yeah.
This one? Yeah.
That one. You can also get it as a print in the print bundle. And the print is he did color it, so she's not white, um, ghostly white like the original drawing, but that's available as well at an affordable price. You get 3 exclusive prints in the print bundle reward. But yeah, if you're into collecting original artwork, the comic art collector is your jam right there. And the other comic art collectors, they're all gone right now. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, that got
Selling out the art.
yeah, so that got snatched up quickly. And I have one cover from the Wormhole Club Tragedy issues left for the Calgary Expo edition, but that's like in the granddaddy tier of the campaign, so we won't like go into too much detail with that. But everything else, all the comic art collector stuff is gone except for number 5. What's still available is just the book. There's just the book local pickup for people here in Ontario. There's even a retailer 5-pack deal for a discount. I'm trying to read the small print here. $80 Canadian, or about 56 or 58 USD for a pack of $5, and you get the digital edition as well. And yeah,
Nice.
I think
that's cool of you to include the so many people bail on the retailer pack. And I mean, sometimes they don't sell. If they don't sell, you don't have to mess with it. But if they do sell, your book's in a shop, and if they like you, they might order another 5 books on your next campaign, right? I've talked to people about this, and then also you can do stuff with like secret tiers now too, to like.
There is a secret tier.
Oh,
I forgot to mention that. If anyone tonight backs the campaign, I'll send you the link to the secret tier for $60 Canadian. So that's
nice.
Yeah. You get a commission with your book and PDF.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I remind people continuously that if you like original art, you should pay more attention to Kickstarter. You can get amazing deals, sometimes from like big name artists. Like we did the Negative Burn campaign a few months ago, and like Phil Hester did a few head sketches for like $100 or something. And it's like he's Phil Hester, right? And so like you can, but also like if you just like someone's art, you can sometimes get a cover for a much more affordable price than necessarily like at a convention or at one of the art selling websites or on eBay or something like that. It's a great place for original art. And I'm always telling creators, like, try and sell original art on your campaigns. Like, it's like people love it. It's just like, and it like you can price the hell out of them, and it like it bumps up your goal, pretty well. Yeah, like Terry Moore always does it. He does awesome art, and then he usually for pretty cheap. And then, but I mean, anyway.
So then my most expensive tier, I think it's only available in Canada, unfortunately, because I wasn't sure about shipping canvases to the States, but it includes a canvas painting as well as like all the comic books, the floppies, and the graphic novel PDF, and what else is in there? There's like a bunch of stuff in there. The exclusive art prints, there it is. You get a print of one of the comic book pages. You get the original artwork from the issue 2 Calgary Expo edition cover. So you get a lot of goodies with, original artwork as well as the book as well. And canvas painting is like 16 by 20 inches. So yeah,
that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen an actual canvas piece offered in a campaign. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it just looks spooky and weird and crazy. Like I just think the campaign looks great. Folks, for real, like I've read Becca's other graphic novel is great. It won awards for a reason. So I really encourage y'all to check this out. Campaign's got 4 days left. Friendly reminder, you can find the links in the description. Also, friendly reminder, I know we got some people still hitting it. Enter hashtag hot dogs. We're gonna give away a comic here pretty shortly. Dirk is saying, be like Dirk, pledge twice. Make a separate account. Back it twice. That's out. Let's do it. That's the Source Point Press way. I'm just kidding. I don't. that's not the publisher's way, but you know, but you should back it. You really should. Supporting, I don't know if you guys know this, but like supporting indie comics makes you cool. Like,
Yeah.
like you think smoking made you cool when you were a kid? Oh my God, try supporting indie comics.
It's like, I got this before I got cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will get it before it's cool and drops in comic book shops. Are you doing like different covers or anything for direct market release, or is it?
I may. We'll talk about that with Dirk.
Nice.
So yeah, I would like to. It's just I wanted to get this launched as quickly as possible. So I just kept the campaign as quick, as simple as possible as I possibly could. I would like to make another cover, and especially if, I don't know, down the road, I'd like to make a hardcover edition of this book as well as Gehenna. But anyway, that's a topic for another time. Yeah,
I'm a sucker for a good Kickstarter hardcover. They're always so fancy, and you get to like, you really get to work. I mean, you do with like trade paperbacks too, but like hardcovers just have so many more options, and then you can sometimes play around with the stretch goals and like kind of get and like, oh, let's do some gilded edges or like the ribbon bookmarks or like tip-in sheets, and so I just love it. You get you end up getting this like really gorgeous book, for, and it's like, it's unique. Not many people are going to have it. And so it's a low print run. And anyways, go forth, chat, and support indie comics. By the way, also, I love how people in the chat are just like, oh, I ate hot dogs and chili because of you. It'd be great if you went to Kickstarter and supported indie comics, because I told you, I really am glad I made you eat chili dogs. I love them.
People are hungry tonight.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. All right. So yeah, let's, I guess I'm going to give you all a couple more, just a couple more, seconds, milliseconds to get a couple more hashtag hot dogs in the chat. Cause we got to give away we got to give away this comic, but first I have to read the stipulations that producer Kyle told me. If you win the book, you have to pay $25.99 for shipping. That's a joke. This is what he told me. I'm sorry. You don't have to pay for shipping. We'll ship it to you for free. It's a giveaway. All right. So this is for everybody listening, watching, for the EXP fans. For the next week, this EXP Ben 10 exclusive cover is only available live on the EXP. So you can only find it during the live sale shows. Miss Jen King has a sale tomorrow at 7 Eastern. Producer Kyle has a sale also tomorrow at 10 Eastern. And Nick will have them Friday at 7 Eastern. Okay. So right now, the only way you can get these, they took them off the website for the pre-sale. So you have to watch the shows and either win one or do a claim sale or however they end up doing it. So make sure you tune in to Jen, to Kyle, and Nick this week. They'll be advertising it, and we're about to click the button. And so let's see. I'm gonna share this. We got to share the cool screen here. I really wish StreamYard would let me share multiple screens. It's like, we have the technology. I feel like it's just, they're just fucking with me, Becca. That's what it is.
I'm not sure how all this works, so it's just fascinating.
I don't either. I've been doing this for years. I still have no idea what's going on. All right, we're doing it, chat. Here we go. We got 6 entries. 3, 2, 1, bam. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win this store exclusive variant? Sell it for $1 million on eBay. Somebody. Tommy, reach out to me or Kyle. We'll send it to you.
Congrats, Tommy.
Or email Kyle at theexplive.com or whatever. I talk to you every day almost. We'll figure it out. Or maybe I'll do like, we'll just never send it to you and we just do it. That's how I used to do giveaways, because I would forget. I wasn't trying to con people. I just would be like, oh, then months later, send it somewhere. Yes, you are the winner, Tommy. You are the winner. That is amazing. All right. So, Becca, I've kept you for a little over an hour. I so appreciate you for dealing with me. Thank you so much. Thank you for agreeing to do this last minute as well. I really appreciate it, how it came together. So funny. Like I said, it's just like I did this campaign. I totally missed it. And it was cool to run into it. And, knowing your work from previously, I've been a fan for a while. Because I'm such a polite and gracious podcast host, This is obviously the Kickstarter is live for 4 more days. There's a link in the show notes that everybody can click and go support the comics. You get, well, if you're in Canada, you can get a 3D sculpture, but you can maybe get some cool original art or something.
Yes.
Maybe get a secret tier if you back, right? Like we talked about that. Let us know where to keep track of you. I know you mentioned Instagram and Facebook. But how do we follow you? Keep track of all the cool stuff you got going on.
Yeah. So you can also check out thebecka.com. TheBecka.com. All my socials are there as well. Stay tuned. I may start with the live streaming thing. You'll see all my socials when I announce it, if you're into that kind of thing. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for having me.
No, anytime. Honestly, it was great chatting with you. You're a horror head, and you dig Event Horizon, so you're good people in my book.
Yeah.
I hope I know these ends of the campaigns are stressful, but I hope it goes well for you. It's a great, that's awesome. I thought you had a mask. You just had it in front of you. I was like, that is cool.
Yeah.
That is. Oh, before we go, you mentioned something about like the bodies in the hospital that you would like look like. Did you worked in a hospital?
No. There's a couple of family members who work in healthcare.
Okay. So they would like, you would like grill them on like what happened at work, and then you would like draw it in a notebook.
Not draw it. It was just the stories they have would just stick with me, and then I look it up later, and then it would somehow creep into my stories. So
nice.
Yeah, and I have to write in such a way where it's like, yeah, that didn't happen at all, no, because confidentiality reasons, right? But I have to be careful with that. But yeah, I've got like probably lots of great material for a while, thanks to like stories from healthcare.
Wow. Yeah. I know I'm trying to wrap it up. I do this every time, Becka.
That's what I know.
Show. Oh wait, let's have 5 more conversations. Well, I really got into the pit like everybody else, and I really, really liked it. But I like to watch things when I eat dinner or whatever, right? So like I'll be working, and I'll cook dinner and I'll get everything ready and I'll queue up a show and eat dinner. And I have a pretty tough stomach. Like I can watch like horror movies and stuff and eat, and it usually doesn't mess with me. Yeah, there were a couple moments in the pit where they're like doing these medical procedures, and it looks like they're doing it live to a real person. And I was like I gotta put the burrito down. Like, I was like, whoa. Yeah.
The human body's gnarly,
It's crazy. That's why I love body horror, and I love that I love that you put that into your work in various ways. So like I know I'm just like a random dude that you just met the first time, but I really encourage whatever happens, like if things don't go the way that you think they are, you're really on to something there. And I really hope you continue that in your art and projects going forward. I mean, obviously if you write like a slice of life thing or something later, like that may not fit, but you're really good at it. You have a very, very strong horror voice, both narrative and visually on the page. So like, just
thank you.
Keep racking out bangers, just do it.
I'll keep doing it. Representing the horror,
Hell yeah. All right. Well, chat, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Congratulations to Tommy for winning this thing. I guess I can turn that off now. Thank you to the EXP for giving me a issue to give away and an increased platform to say weird stuff and eat hot dogs on air. We're so appreciative of it. And also shout out to Chris Daly. I was talking about you earlier, bud. Thanks for tuning in. All right. We are here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. EST. We'll be back next Wednesday. Support comics, support creators, and be kind to each other. Love more, hate less, read comics, baby. We're out of here.